Hey, good morning. Welcome back, press starters, to Office Hours on Sunday. Hope you're all doing fabulous, doing awesome even. Do some quick setup here real fast. Sadly, this is not all seamless, so can't get quite everything going right off the start, but that's okay. I'm just happy you all are here. Hope you're having a fabulous Sunday. Whether it's morning, afternoon, or like you're out super late because it's up super late because it's Saturday still for you in its own way. Anyway, hope all is well. Yeah. So this morning, what's been going on? Kind of a light week. Numbers, I did that earlier. Not super. What is month? April? Yeah, April's been a little slow. March was looking a little slow, but then it picked up towards the end. So maybe April will pick up towards the end as well. And it'll be even more awesome than previous months. We're actually circling. I actually kicked everything off a year ago. About this time, so drop my mic a little bit, get a little bit more of me through there. So we're coming on a year anniversary of Press Start Leadership, and it's been a fun ride so far. I learned a whole lot. Mostly that I didn't know what I didn't know, which I think speaks volumes to a lot of things in life. And it's been good fun. So in that year, I kicked off a website, a bunch of social media. So I started Twitter and Pinterest and Instagram and LinkedIn. Had its own business page. I had LinkedIn for years as a private or personal, but business one. And it's been growing and growing and growing, learning what people like and don't like, and what works on some social media doesn't work on others. They're not all cookie cutters. So people on LinkedIn really don't give a shit about quotes. That's not true. They do give a shit about quotes, but not like pictures of you so much or things like that. But they love blogs and they like podcasts. They do respond to that pretty well. So most of my traffic comes from that, which is cool to my website, and personal quotes. They do like personal quotes. So I pull a lot of quotes now from the things I've done over the year, and I put them up and they get a good engagement and response. So that's been pretty cool. What else? Instagram has definitely been a learning experience. I thought I'd be cute with a lot of the stuff I did early on with like video game characters and movie characters and things like that, and it got okay responses, but again, it came down to the personal quotes, some other nice graphics, and then personal pictures. Go figure. Instagram really wants to just see this beautiful face and wonderful beard, and they enjoy that way more than any of the other things I post. So learning there. And Twitter I didn't understand for a really long time, and I still don't, but I'm finally getting ground there. And Pinterest, like I said the last couple of weeks, crazy, like super amounts of new follows and engagement, and wild. But when I look at my analytics for my website, it doesn't push a lot of traffic. So really LinkedIn, Facebook, really where it's at for me. And Facebook. So thanks to everyone who follows the Facebook page, thinking about creating a community there as well. But I still thinking on what I want to have there, how I want to engage with everybody. I really want to make sure that people are getting all the magical Mr. Mifsud they can get, Press Start Leadership. So and that's that. So today, I'm going to work on a Pinterest story. Because as I was saying, Pinterest has been getting a lot of interest. So Pinterest, interesting. I'm slow. So anyway, that was cool. Yeah. So I have a recent blog, a couple months old, that gets a lot of engagement from in shares, and it's posted all over the place and lots of clicks. So I'm going to turn it into a Pinterest story today, and you get to watch me make a Pinterest story, which is fascinating and fabulous, and maybe helpful to you. Who knows? But I need to get this done, and it takes me a little bit of time anyway. So I figure I can do this and chat with anybody who might be in the chat talking. And if not, I'll get this done anyway. And then after that, I need to do a sound clip for my podcast that goes out tomorrow. It's a different podcast than I've normally done. It's an interview. It's an hour long, so no, it's not a five minute little clip, 5 to 10 minutes. Bits of wisdom. It's an hour long interview with an old friend and colleague of mine, Jeremiah McCoy, who's kind of doing a really cool stuff over on TikTok with D&D and being an advocate and a bunch of other great stuff. So chat with him. It's the first one of those. You'll be able to find that on my podcast tomorrow and also on YouTube, where this is also streaming. So if you're checking this on YouTube right now, there'll be a YouTube video of the podcast of me speaking with Jeremiah. And so, yeah, a lot of learnings there too. First time I did a video of podcast interview. So, hopefully you'll enjoy it. And if you like it in audio format, it will be on the Press Start Leadership podcast. Yeah, it's Conversation with Christopher with Jeremiah McCoy. So yeah, we'll work on the sound clip from that as well for promoting tomorrow. I actually need to set up a bunch of the promotion stuff that goes out, and hopefully we'll get a good following. Hopefully we'll hit 750 downloads of the podcast. We're so close. We're at like 738 downloads so far. So only 12 more downloads of any podcast will get me that magical achievement on Buzzsprout, which is like, vanity award, but I'm a gamer. I like achievements. So come on, help me out. Yeah, so I give it a listen because I think a lot of people are getting value out of it. The last one actually has been one, again, so the last episode, I took the numbers off because people told me to get rid of the numbers. So there's no more numbers. But episode 16, which is the last one, which is about experiences over BS, has been an even better download than episode 13 from a few weeks ago. So go on and check out what all the people are listening to. Why they think it's so great, and they're listening through it all the way 100%. So there's some good stuff in there. So yeah, give it a little listen. And if you like longer podcasts, then be sure to check out tomorrow's podcast, Conversations with Christopher, with Jeremiah McCoy, Tech Noir on not Instagram, well, probably Instagram, no, Twitter, Tech Noir on Twitter, Basics of the Game on TikTok. Yeah, so you'll get a glimpse of all that tomorrow. But yeah, on to let's work with this. Let's see, here we go. Maybe make me a little smaller. Yeah, there we go. So, all right. First, we got to get our title, which is going to be this right up here. 10 things a leader should never do. And this one has been really popular. So I'm not, as I'll talk about, and I wrote in the article, I'm not really big on focusing on like bad leadership, because like we all have examples of bad leadership that we see all the time. I really prefer to like focus on what good leadership is, but never hurts to be a little bit of a reminder of what you should never do. So yeah, that's what this article was all about. And so I'm going to turn it into a little Pinterest story to share with the people who are on Pinterest all of my hugely growing followership there, which has been really surprising, like I said. But I'll take it. If the people there want to know more about leadership, I will provide them with what they need to know about leadership. I am there for them. All right, I'll probably let this up a little bit. say that, but now I'm gonna bring it down. Put it in the middle. Okay. So that's page 1, introduction. All right, so what do we got for verbiage here? All right. Hopefully that's less than 250 characters. We will find out un momento. 264. How do we want to do this? What if I get rid of that? Bingo, I'll just save that. We'll do it that way. All right. So that's gonna go away. Actually, we can get rid of that altogether. Boop. Morning affirmations. All right. I kind of dig that. So we'll dig it. We'll do it that way. We'll do the old double up. Don't. You know. Maybe now we'll do. Yeah, I'll do that. No. We'll leave that be. Do that. Put you in the middle. And then we'll get rid of this one. And I'll get rid of this one. Yell. And we're gonna put the verbiage there. So how much verbiage do we have? Looks like more than 250. That is not super exciting. But let's see. You're like, Chris, why does 250 matter? Because on a Pinterest story, you're only allowed to have 250 characters on a page. So what I do is set up all the pages with what writing they need, and then yeah, move on to surround yourself with positive people. Something you should do, but you should not micromanage, because that is bullshit. Like, for reals, you hired people for a reason, you know. Either hire different people, or, you know, train your staff, teach them what they need to know, give them a shot to grow. I get it though, you don't always have the time to do a lot of that stuff, but I say this, if you have the time to micromanage, you probably have the time to train them up, so you don't have to micromanage. So don't micromanage. That is for realsies. All right, but you should smile, because that's super positive. But, oh wait. Don't micromanage. 317. But you better just, if you do, just. That's right. That is 100% right. All right. And we'll duplicate this one, get rid of that, and put that here, save. I'm becoming a fan of this whole like all caps thing, so maybe we'll do that too. 80, 72. Yeah, that's good. No micromanage. There we go. Don't. Introduction. Yeah. Second part. Got that. Okay. She should totally smile. Smile. Don't be a dick. That is for real too. Don't be a dick. There we go. Should be fine. Then you're right, boss. That was a dick. I have. Let me tell you. Let me not tell you. Anyway. I always kind of hope. The thing is the people who really need to read this aren't the people who actually ever read these things. Sadly. But it's always a good reminder. And, you know, you can always like subtly send these blogs or these Pinterest stories over to the bosses that kind of suck and be like, hey, I read this awesome article. What do you think about this? The problem is, though, a lot of these speakers will read it and they'll be like, oh, first of all, they don't think they do it. Or if they do things, then they'll be like, but no, you should do these things. Like, you know, how else are you supposed to get results out of people? I don't know. Care about them. Take interest in their problems. Help them out. Realize that they're people and not just people to serve you. I don't know. Yeah, that kind of thing. Just a thought. I know, it's wacky. I have a lot of wacky thoughts here. All right. Complain in front of your team. I've seen this one. This one always kind of baffles me on so many different levels. Like, why would you, in front of them, right? Like, or about them even. Complain in front of your team is pretty bad. You shouldn't do that. I mean, it does happen. I mean, in some ways, I guess it creates some kind of sympathy. And a lot of times people who do this, that's what they're looking for, right? They're like, oh, yeah, you know, and you're like, oh, yeah. But it's even worse when you complain about them in front of them. I've seen that before. I've just been like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? But it's bad leadership. That's why. That's why they do it. And there's a lot of bad leadership out there. But to be honest, I think there's an equal amount of good leadership out there as well. I think I'm hard pressed to say that like I've experienced more bad leadership than I have good leadership. But I think the bad leadership definitely sticks with you for what you remember. And so that's why I think people talk about it all the time. But I've had some amazing leaders in my life who've taught me so much. And made me want to, you know, I want to be like that. I need to do that. That's good. That made me feel good. That made me want to do more and strive more and be better, right? And that's what you're looking for. This one's a good one though. Do shit you don't want your team to do. Like, yeah, it's that whole like lead by example thing, which I think is very big, and not enough people do that either. So it's like, oh, too many people doing the bad things and getting away with it, and then surprised when their team does stuff just like that, but they don't want them to. They're like, yeah, all right, no final thoughts. We're not at the end yet. We're only at the beginning. Have all the answers. Yeah, too many people think they have to have all the answers, which is not so great either. I mean, okay, it's okay if you actually do have the answers, but when you're just making up shit that you don't know, just act like you have an answer, that's horrible. Oof. So not cool. So bad. Bad. All right. We're gonna duplicate this one. Ask no questions. And that's the thing, right? If you don't have the answers and you're not asking questions, Like, why would you do that? Why? No, nobody cares if you don't know the answer. I'd much rather you ask a question and get clarity than lead me into wasting my time or whatever it is. So educate yourself. I had a boss once say that he was a certain age and he wasn't going to learn anything more. And I'm just like, wow, what? What? Like, and as this, as Albert Einstein once said, if you're not learning, you're dying. And you have to constantly learning and being better and realizing that like what you used to do may not work anymore. And you learn something new. And especially if people are telling you like what you do is wrong and you are wrong and you need to do better. And you're like, don't need to. Might be a bad leader. Might be. And maybe you shouldn't be a leader. Maybe you should just be a rich person who hires people and doesn't lead them, but just pays them to do your work. And that's perfectly fine. But don't prop yourself up as being like this awesome leader and you're not. You are a boss, and there's a place for bosses. Not in my life really, but I guess kind of in my life a little bit. Everyone serves somebody, right? But I've come to the point now where I pick and choose who's my boss, because ain't nobody got time for negativity, toxic environment. So we got here. You already have a you. All right, that's so true. 298. What if I take this out? 200 perfecto. And I'll duplicate this one and that. And I'll put notes here. And I'll save it. All right, but I need to, how many more do I got? 2 more. Fail to make a decision or take action is also a horrible, horrible trait to have as a leader. Like you don't have to know everything. Like, again, like I said, but you do need to make a decision or take an action. Like that, the lead part of leader is kind of implied in there. And so it's kind of important that you do those things, because why wouldn't you? Well, I mean, when you're a leader, like nobody's like, hey, what would you? I mean, you should ask people's opinions, right? But once you've gotten whatever information you need, know the details of what needs to be done, then you take an action and you make a decision. And sometimes it's okay to be like, this might not work, and you do it, and you fail, and you learn, and you move on. And that comes to my last point here. Refuse to own your mistakes. So like, yeah, you're going to have to make choices and decisions. Sometimes those aren't all going to work out for a number of factors. Could be something that you were unprepared for, didn't know about, whatever, doesn't matter, and, you're going to have to take ownership for that mistake. And that's awesome. You should do that. Okay. So, I'm not going to have a lot of pictures here. So I'm trying to figure out how I should do this. Maybe. How many I got? 16. I can have 20. Man, I really need photos though. Photos are kind of helpful. Like that's the whole point of Pinterest. So how do I do this? Okay, I don't need this one so much. So I'm gonna get rid of this. So that gives me like what, 4 more photos? That would be a dick. That can match. Yeah. All right, there's absolutely nothing on this one, but There's no words at all, right? Okay, yeah. This one actually doesn't have any words, so we'll take that out. All right, so we have the do 10 things leaders should never do, the don'ts of leadership, introduction, and then we've got this little bloop. Maybe I can put a picture here. Put a picture there. Photos. Hey there, welcome, joining. Let me know if the sound's messed up for sure. Ask any questions, and otherwise, thanks for joining on a Sunday, whatever it is, wherever you are. So, welcome. Oh. All right, introduction. Put bad boss in, just see what I get. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Bad boss, that's kind of funny. Just click that. All right. So this is kind of the fun part. I find the fun part of making these. And there's gonna be some verbiage down there, so that'll be cool. All right, don't. All right, we're gonna move these up to the typity top. Oof. What? Look at this one. This one's good. I like this one. Yeah, I put this one. I won't lie. I did this. I did yell as the first one because I've had a lot of bosses be yellers, and I've been really surprised about this. Not leaders, because I won't call anybody who yells a leader. I'll call them something else that I won't actually say here. But yeah, it's probably the worst thing you can tell. I don't understand why people think they can get away with yelling at other human beings. Does it get you anywhere? Really? I have zero effectiveness in it. No, I know culturally sometimes, it's a thing. But even I still think no matter where you're going in the world, and it's a thing, it's still a bad thing. Like, just because it exists and people do it on like the regular doesn't make it good. Like, that's the one thing I see the value of having worked around the world in multiple countries and seeing different cultures and how they interact on business levels. It's like, I can be like, oh yeah, that thing they do is really good. That thing they do is awful. And yeah. So don't yell. Don't micromanage either. That's the system's fun. Being a leader, not a micromanager. I like that. It's kind of cool because, well, it'd be better if it was more like a fortune cookie. I would have liked that. But then again, what is? But then why would it be a fortune cookie? That doesn't make sense either. So I guess I'll take the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about there. All right, but I like it. We're gonna put it there, and the text will be there. Ooh, there's more text though. Oh, I can put delegate though. Here you go. That was another one that was very popular for me. Was my delegate article, which I do love. I'll put this one here. That's a good question. Do you delegate enough? Chances are, if you're micromanaging, you do not delegate. Well, then again, chances are, if you're micromanaging, you don't trust your team either. So there's a lot of other probably issues going on there. Don't be a dick. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find a picture of that. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it would find. Huh. Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna do that because that makes me laugh. It's the animal, the dick. So I'm being coy. Is there a better picture of a dick though? Now I'm being funny saying the word dick. All right, to myself because I'm 12. All right, here we go. Don't be a dick. All right. How many words do I have there? Oh, it's not much. It'd be fine. I'll fit. Don't be a dick. Complain. I'm telling you, if you don't use Canva and you do social media, you're missing out. It is awesome. Oh man, I love that. That's good. That's my. All right, how do I get this up? Where's that? That's there. How many words do I have for this one? A lot. This might be tough. All right, do I need this to be 108? I don't. I'm gonna bring that down. Because this is so much more worth it. I try to keep the same size across all the ones, but sometimes there's probably a better picture of a. I mean, it's kind of the butt of a dick. Yeah, maybe I'll switch it out. Is that one better? That one's kind of better. We'll go with that one. But even that is really hard to see. I kind of feel like if I could, I don't think it'd remove the background, just have the but nah, we'll do that. Champions, train, losers complain. That's right. That is right. Don't do shit you don't want your team to do. I'll bring this one down too. That's not working out for me. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Don't. We will just put lead by example. How about that? That seems better. Here we go. What is that? How much verbiage do I have? Yeah, I've got a lot. So we'll need the space. All right. Okay, no, that makes sense. Let's see answers. Well, that one's pretty good though. All right. I like the picture. So the picture wins. I don't like the size of all that, so we're gonna bring that down to 72. There we go. We're gonna shrinky shrink. I think that's important. That's important. I'll leave that there. And I'll let the verbiage be there. Probably a better way to get more accurate on like how much space you need. In the future, maybe I'll create a template that has that, but not today. All right. Coffee. All right, ask new questions. Ask questions, people. This one's good. We'll do that. Maybe a little too big. Oh, wait. How many questions? How much spot? 206. Yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. This one always baffles me. Why would you hire another you? You always already have a you, right? Like, I had a guy one time in an interview, and they were like, "Oh, you remind me so much of me. I think we'll work great together." And I'm like, "What? Why? Like, get someone who's not like you. You're already awesome, obviously, if you feel like you're like me. So get somebody else who can complement your awesomeness, not be the same awesome." Oh, this is, see, now I'm thinking twin, right? Someone just like you, twin, yeah. Now I gotta, ooh, excuse me, pick the right picture here. The good twin. It's a good twin picture. If you see, this one's pretty good. It's funny, at least. I gotta add a little humor in here because that's me. I'm lighthearted. It's one of my pillars. Lightheartedness. I think that's good. All right. Oh, I got two though. Man, wasn't expecting that. All right, what's this? This one is like fellowship. All right. Let me see, Dungeons and Dragons, maybe. You think I'd be better at this, considering I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since I was 8. Beak. All right. All right. Now, Lord of the Rings, maybe. No, elves. That's dumb. All right. Oh, that's something. All right. Go back to fantasy. Is there anything good here? I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this one. All right, we'll go with that. Right, because the text says, make sure you have a wizard, a dwarf, an elf, a few hobbits, etc. Yeah, all right. Bring that up just a little bit. Fail to make this. Okay, it's too much. Make you 72. Bring it up here. Decision. That's not how you spell that at all. Wow. Yeah, I claim that English is my first language, but there we go. We'll go with that. That's not bad, and it's small. So, choice. At least it's running smoothly today. Sometimes when I do this, it's like miserable. But this is not too bad today. Maybe it's because I've closed like all the windows I normally have open. So, mistake. Or as I like to call it, mistake. Here we go, mistake. Oh, allergies. Oops. I like oops. Anything good here? Mistakes. Big old oops. I've had a few leaders who were like always blaming somebody else for everything that went wrong, not taking ownership. The worst ones are the ones that like kind of take ownership, but then they still find a reason to blame everybody else. Yeah, that's kind of the worst. Okay. Okay, 16 slides. That good for 20. Not bad, not bad, not bad. There's nothing there. Things a leader should never do. The don'ts of leadership. Introduction. I think maybe we can clean this up even. Bad boss. Don't yell. Micromanage. Be a dick. Unless you're one of those cute ones like that. Well, anyway. Complain in front of your team. Do shit you don't want your team to. There's a word missing there. Is that? Do shit you don't want your team to. I feel like. Do shit you don't want your team to do. We're gonna fix that in this post. It's always fascinating when when I come across things that have been out in the wild amongst the peoples for so long. But you know, I guess I don't have a big enough following yet for people to correct me, which I guess is kind of a blessing, sort of, but not really, because then the poor people who do read my stuff and then there's like an error. It's small but noticeable, and then it makes me wonder what I pay my editor for. But then that might have also been a cutting an error, like me grabbing stuff out of who knows. But we are not all infallible. We are all fallible. That's what that proves right there. Do shit you don't want your team to do. All right. Took me all 5 seconds to fix that, so that's okay. And we will exit visual builder. All right, back to this. Boom, fine. Have all the answers. Ask no questions. Hire people exactly like you. Fail to make decisions or take actions. Refuse to own your mistakes. 16 slides of invaluable information on the 10 things not to do as a leader. I think that's good. Okay, next steps. Download that bad boy. And if you're enjoying the smooth jams that are going on in the background, they are by Stream Beats. Copyright free, supposedly, music. So, some chill music to listen to while you listen to my sweet, sweet voice talk about Pinterest stories. All right. Extract all. Boom, boom. Boom, shaka, shaka, shakalaka, shakalaka, boom. All right. DOS is done. Oh, but I still need, see? But I still need it for reference. We're not done with that. So, then we go over the Pinterest. That's this area right here, Pinterest. And we go to create, and we create story pin. Now, it's early access, but pretty much what I've seen for people who I've told this about, you ask for access and then they give it to you right away. You might not get it, but I think they want enough people to be doing this now that they will give it to you. So, anyway, here we go, creating a new pin. Going to upload. I always just leave that there. Maybe we shouldn't. All right. Not like I have anything super top secret. But I do consulting work for companies that don't want their stuff being shown. So usually it's not in this folder, but on the off chance that there is, better be safe than sorry. So here we go. All right. 16 images. Uploading now. Cappuccino. I can't say it's looking any better. Actually, a little bit better. It's not as dark as it was earlier, but it was also like, it's now like almost, it's 11, so it's not quite midday, but it's getting close. All right. So here we are. Design the page. This page is fine. We don't do anything with this one. So this one. All right, we're going to add text. We don't use super glue. I use chalkboard. I drop the font size to about 20. Oh, that's up. 20. Generally, we side it. That's fine. And we don't highlight anything. Or do we highlight it? We don't highlight it. All right. So now we go back to Canva. And we go to that slide. And I go up to the notes. And I grab my text. Which you'll understand now can only be 250 characters. So that's why I saved it. What is going on? There we go. All right. Now, keep to the right, left alignment's fine. Yeah, happy enough with that. All right, there's nothing on the slide, so that slide's fine. Yell. And the cool thing is it keeps your choices from the previous one. So it assumes, thankfully, that all of your text is going to remain the same. You can change it obviously if you want to, but for simplification, all right, don't yell. I think my favorite is when leaders who, or sorry, bosses, I wouldn't even call them leaders, when people who obviously yell deny that they yell, and then they give, and then my favorite is when they try to justify their yelling, because there really is no justification for yelling at somebody else. I mean, you're degrading them as a human being, and that's not what leaders do. But numerous times in my career, I've encountered yellers, and when I've confronted them on it, they always have wonderful explanations for why they are yellers. So, anyway, so my advice to you: don't be a yeller as a boss or a leader. But again, a lot of these things in here, if you do these things, technically don't make you a leader. He doesn't make you a bad person. So don't be a bad person. Because nobody wants to deal with your shit. All right. Yeah, it's true. It actually triggers the fight, flight, or freeze response. And I've always kind of wondered what would happen if somebody's responses actually fight in those situations. Because I don't think that would end well for the yeller most of the time. Because I find a lot of time yellers, they talk a mean game, but they ain't shit. Yeah. So pretty sure. Not that you should ever be violent with anybody. I'm actually a very strong pacifist, but I also do believe you should be able to defend yourself. Not like from yelling though. But, you know, that being said, sometimes people act a certain way. I'm actually kind of more forgiving of the person who defends themselves and how they're being treated than the person who initiated the bad behavior in the first place. Because a lot of times when that stuff happens, it's from multiple. Usually it's not off the first case. It's like multiple abuses of power and so forth that cause people to lash out or whatever. Yeah, they kind of box people into that through their treatment because they think they can get away with it. And that's why I always highly suggest that if you ever encounter anyone whose behavior is inappropriate, you should call them out on it, because it's only because we allow such behavior to continue that these things exist in the workplace, which is horrible. So, and I know it's challenging, and sadly, a lot of times these people have put themselves in positions of where they're very well protected, and it falls sadly on the accusers to prove the other side is wrong, and that can be a heavy burden. But that's why it's also important to find allies who will speak up for you. And that's why we need more allies. So if you really are an ally as a leader, which you should be, you should be helping people out in these regards and listening to them and supporting them and getting them out of the situations which make them uncomfortable and unable to succeed because of crappy people in the workplace. So, yeah. But, you know. But as I always say, people don't like confrontation, which is understandable. And so it's tough to do these things, to stand up for your rights and get the things that you deserve as a human being, when people defend the bad guys. And it's easy for someone like me who's 6'2" and fairly large, and looks a little bit gruff, who easily stands up for themselves, to say this, because again, people don't like confrontation with people that they think can, do them harm. But I love defending my team and standing up for the people that I work with. It's actually, one of the things that being an advocate for my team has always been something I've really enjoyed as a manager and as a leader. So for me, I know I can usually convince people to change their ways a little bit. It's hard. I mean, people have to actually want to change their ways, but being able to influence it enough most of the time that good things come. But y'all should do it too. It should not be a thing. And if you're a good leader, then you shouldn't worry about what happens to you. You should be more worried about what happens to your team. So you should be taking the repercussions of things for your team. oftentimes I don't fully understand why my team wants to do certain things, but I also trust my team. So I just tell them to explain to me enough why they think it's important, and I trust them enough that it's what they need or what needs to be done, and I make it happen for them. Because, again, I don't have to know all the answers. I hire people not exactly like me, because if I did, nothing would get made, because I don't know how to make nothing. I know how to do pipelines. I know how to motivate people to be more than what they think they can be, but the actual process of doing, I am far less capable of, and I also accept that as because I only got so much time in my life to learn the things that I want to. And as my father always taught me, that's why you pay other people to do things that they know how to do, so you don't have to know everything. And I do believe that to be true. That being said, my father was not the most handy guy around the house. My mom, on the other hand, though, she learned everything she could learn, and that was also a cool trait. And she wanted to learn how to do plumbing or take down a wall in her house, which she did multiple times, and put up new walls, and made for ever-changing home space. But I think my dad knew how to change or add the basic fluids to a vehicle, but anything heavily mechanic, we took it to a mechanic. All right, how are we looking here? I think we're looking good. It's coming along nicely. Very nice today. So, last one. And add text. All right. 16 pages out of 20 that I can do. Got them all in. Next for the details. All right. We're going to pick a theme. Theme is going to be a blank list. And then we're going to go steal ourselves a... What happened there? All right. Boop, boop, boop. We'll grab the URL and we'll throw that in there so people know where to go, because that's what we want. We want people to go to the actual blog, to the website, then go, what? Who's this guy? This guy seems amazing. I want to hire him for my company to make my team better or make myself better. And I'll be like, I'm on it. All right, 10 things a leader should never do. So I have to thank Pat Flynn and his programs, because he has a really good workshop on writing titles that get people to take action. And since I started doing my titles that way, way better traction. I mean, again, I'm not blowing the numbers out of the water like, whoa, my God, thousands of people, but more than I had originally. And that's all we can do, is continue to get better and better. All right. Strive to be better peoples. So if I can be a better person tomorrow than I was today, I consider that a win. All right, I think that's good. I think so. Usually I get about 6,000 to 7,000 impressions on these, which for me is really good, considering most of my stuff used to get like 100 impressions. So yeah, 700% increase on that is, or 70, an increase by measurable amounts is still better than no increase at all. So there's that one. We're gonna publish it. Warming up the pin machine. Pin machine. The pin machine is really warming up today. All right. It's working though now. All right. Drink some more cappuccino. So if you're joining me on Twitch and you're like, what the F is going on here? Don't worry, folks. I will be playing some Stellaris later on, or maybe Octo Traveler. I haven't decided. But something cool. Playing a game later. Like I normally do on Twitch. If you're joining me on YouTube, thanks for joining us on YouTube. That's awesome. Tomorrow, check out the first real YouTube drop. Again, interview with Jeremiah McCoy. It's about an hour long. If you like long form content, that'll be great for you. It'll also be on the podcast. Dropping tomorrow morning at midnight. And then yeah, don't be a dick. Yeah. And if you're on Facebook, thanks for joining me on Facebook. Because that's awesome too. And yeah, so how long been on? An hour? I think yeah, we'll do the headliner next, the sound clip for tomorrow, and then we'll be done. But this looks like they didn't screw up. So sometimes when I do Pinterest, oh, they did one. They did get screwed up. I don't know how you fix that ever. Like, if you go back to how I made it, they're all exactly the same, but for some strange reason, on that one pin, it's screwed up. Yeah, but I don't think people really read these things. I think they just check them out and then they kind of disappear. But whatever. They can always go to the blog post if they want and read the full piece. So look at that. Look at that bad boy right there. 558 followers. I had 11 followers literally 2 weeks ago after a year of being on Pinterest, almost a year on Pinterest. And recently, maybe because I'm doing these pins, these story pins, boom, I get like 20 something followers a day, which is cool. So again, compared to like, other things in the world, yeah, not that great, but for me it's insane. So there we go, there's that one. So Pinterest done with this, done with this. Let's check this out real fast. So I use this program called Otter, and it goes and it pulls the words pretty well out of my except to screw this up, so I don't know how to fix it. Well, we'll go through and fix it because not all these are accurate. Anyway, I gotta put this is the transcript that I grab and I put it into my podcast for people to read. Supposedly it's good for SEO. I don't actually know. SEO is like magic. There's a lot of things in this world that I consider magic, and SEO is one of those things that. And there's a lot of people that claim to be magicians, like wizards that can operate the SEO. I don't know if I believe them either. They might be charlatans as well. And there might be nothing more to it than simply you pay people, or more importantly, Google, to get the results you want. And then that happens. But who knows? So if you're an SEO expert and you're watching this and you're like, I can actually do something amazing with SEO for you, shoot me a message, Christopher@pressstartleadership.com. More than happy to hear your advice on SEO. But I consider it wizardry. So anyway, this magical program, well, it's kind of, like I said, screwed up. So I know where I'm talking. So this is, I actually say, hey there, press starters.
Hey there, press starters, and welcome to a special edition of Press Start Leadership Podcast.
Yeah. So I need to edit this a little bit, but I'm not gonna do that right now. What I'm gonna do right now is create a sound clip for tomorrow's little piece. I have that up so I can kind of find where a good part in the conversation is to pull for a clip. So upload. I'm gonna choose me a file, but I'm gonna do the thing where I did before, where I don't let you see. Oh, that one wouldn't have mattered. All right, I'm gonna go here. Conversation with Christopher Jeremiah Coy. And we're gonna drop that bad boy. We're gonna add the captions on. And we're gonna do this little thing here, which again, I think is awesome. So as I mentioned in the weeks before, they've only added this in recently, but it lets me know how long. So the main places I put this are Twitter in their fleets. Yeah, fleets that they're called. I do it in the fleet. I do it in I'm looking for Instagram stories, Facebook stories, which are the same, LinkedIn stories, and TikTok. And this one will be important because on TikTok, my guest is actually kind of a well-known individual there. So hopefully his fans will become my fans too. And I can become their fans because I actually really enjoy the people who follow me, very much so. So, all right, 15 seconds. So stories are 15 seconds, right? Facebook could be up to 10 minutes, blah, 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 but I only want 15 seconds. So I got to find the best 15 seconds in an hour long worth of material. So that's what I'm going to go here. So I'm going to remember back. We did this conversation last week, which was really fun. All right, there's a lot of overlap with the two of us chatting. That's why this doesn't work out so well. All right. Or maybe we have similar voices and I can't figure out, like, because this is actually Jeremiah talking here. All right, it's at the 19-minute mark, right? This was me asking about the Zen. I should talk about the Donut Palace because that was one of the best parts of finding out about this awesome donut shop in. All right, see, this is Jeremiah again too, mostly. I say like one thing that's funny because I like to be funny about assumptions, but okay, that's me talking about Brian Kibler. That's kind of funny. That's Jeremiah talking about Otter. You did not do a good job this time around. I'm having the. All right, so what do we? He's got a good. He's got a good. Brad Gabler. His name's not Brad Gabler. It's Brian Kibler. Man, nothing. All right, so blah, blah, blah. Me talking about art. It's cool. Okay. Where is that though? In the,
I think that the best.
Okay. No, what? Or maybe it's. All right, let's see. What?
Blizzard, and
All right, what we got here? No, everything's going wrong. All right, 15 seconds. Why does the world hate me? It should not be as hard as it is. I know I'm getting deep in it. All right, 28.
good leadership. So maybe you could describe, in your own words, what you consider good leadership for those that are listening.
No. Oh my god. All right, it's usually a lot easier when you have like super small. 9.
Welcome to the.
What? Oh my god.
Company, you assume all the other people in the company that you're talking to speak English. Things like that are.
Okay, that's not bad. But... All right, fix this. 15 seconds. It'd be really helpful if I could zoom in. I don't think that's possible though. Maybe? No. This fucks it all up. All right. Now can I change it? All right. Bear with me here, folks. Usually this is super simple because, again, I do a less than 10-minute podcast. This is an hour's worth of madness here. So, all right, let's see what we got here. And let me know if it's too loud. I apologize. Let me actually double check that before I blow out your speakers. I'll bring yours down a little bit so you don't have to. That way, we'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't kill you.
Can't avoid making some assumptions, but so often I've seen.
Oh, wait.
I think that the best leadership is about communication, right? I mean,
there's the.
I think that the so many failings. I think that the best leadership is about communication, right? I mean, I think that the so many failings.
Maybe. Well, the story's 15. I can do TikTok. What's the max on TikTok? 60 seconds. This is gonna get tricky. What if I make it? What if I make it 30 seconds? Let's see.
I think that the best leadership is about communication, right? I mean, I think that the so many failings can be cleared up by just clear communication. Communicate what you want, and accept communication from people who work for you or work with you. And
Oh, you know what? Maybe we will.
And that means learning how to say things in an open way that is clear, to try and avoid by just clear communication. Communicate what you want, and accept communication from people who work for you or work with you. And that means learning how to say things in an open, and that means learning, and that means so many failings can be cleared up by just clear communication. Communicate what you want, and accept communication from people who work for you or work with you.
Yeah, we could even take off.
And that means learning how to say things. So many failings can be cleared up by just clear communication. Communicate what you want, and accept communication from people who work for you or work with you.
Yeah, that's a great little snippet. Hits on leadership, which is barely what we talked about the entire time, but yeah. So we'll grab that. I think that's awesome. So good quote from Jeremiah there about leadership. Always important. Okay, we would do the Instagram story, Snapchat, TikTok format, because that's what all the cool kids are doing these days. We will get rid of this obnoxious photo of just me, though I am a looker, quite the looker. Actually, I need to replace it. Upload. I'm gonna steal this bad boy again. We're gonna steal it too. There we go. And look at this. This is a new one. You guys, anyone here is gonna get a preview of the new cover art. Look at that. Look at that. Conversation with Christopher. See? There's Jeremiah. There's me. And this is a controller, remote control, but with a mic. See? Look, I'm clever. I made a mic out of the handle. So it's like an old school Atari remote control with a, yeah, I know. Amazing. All right. That says it all I need to do. So we will create it. Look at that. That's looking snazzy. Open advanced editor. Yeah. All right. We're almost done today, folks. Just gonna let the headliner finish doing the headlining and see where that goes. And then I'll take a little break for a bit, and then I'll pop on later on Twitch for something. I haven't decided yet what. God, that looks sexy. Man, that's awesome. I'm very proud of my work. For someone that this is not their thing in any way, shape, or form. Well, actually, kind of is my thing now, but it was less of my thing than it ever was before until recently. Let's see how this looks. I think we can drop it down a little bit, but let's just see.
So many failings can be cleared up by just clear communication. Communicate what you want, and accept communication from people who work for you or work with you.
That's great. That's an awesome quote. Good job, Jeremiah. You said some great things on that podcast. I hope everyone gets to enjoy it tomorrow. All right. See, that's a little bit better. Start from the beginning.
so many failings can be cleared up by just clear communication. Communicate what you want, and accept communication from people who work for you or work with you.
It's great. All right. Another good one. I don't have any of that stuff. Using one of my 4 unwatermarked videos left for this month. That'll leave me with 3 after today, which is fine because I only do 4 a month. So, Headliner. I get nothing from this company, but they're awesome. They're awesome like Canva. Canva, I pay for the Pro because I do enough stuff in Canva. Headliner, not yet, but if this starts taking off more, I'll start doing more of these things. They're actually, and they're fun to do. They are fun. Mindlessly fun. So, yeah. I think you don't care about that anymore. So that's a whole lot of my big old head. Hey, all right. So yeah, that was office hours this week. Thanks for joining me. We had some fun making a Pinterest story, going over the things you shouldn't do as a leader. Made a sound clip for a little preview for you all for tomorrow's new special part of Press Start Leadership Podcast, which is Conversation with Christopher and our first guest, Jeremiah McCoy, TikTok D&D sensation, known as Basics of the Game. And yeah, so good fun this week. All right, I'm gonna finish my cappuccino, spend a little time with my wife, and then I'll come back later and also let my camera cool off a little bit because it does not like to do this for too long. I need to find a way to cool it down. So you'll never see me do 24 hours of this. Probably for the best for all of us. So yeah, there is that. All right, what are we looking for here? We're looking for this. That's right.